Man, do I have a lot of things to do in and around the garden. But first and foremost, I want to start with the fact that I have been influenced. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I was watching some fellow garden YouTubers that are in my area, and sad to say, they've definitely influenced me. So I have a list here of the things that they are starting to grow in their greenhouse. And so what I decided to do is take a list and see if I have those seeds. And if I do, I'm going to plant them super early. Because if they can, why can't I? So I'm going to give it a go. I'm just getting some soil prepared here to start some seeds. What I have on my list are eggplants, beets, echinacea, carrots, radish, and some sort of herbs, and then also peppers. Now, I have never had any luck growing peppers this early. I mean, they always grow, but they just take a really, really long time. So it almost seems counterproductive to me to start them this early when if I start them now versus in April, they're still going to be the same height as if I were to plant the ones in April, if that makes sense. Like, they're just going to grow really, really slow, at least in my experience, limited experience. So I'm going to try again. And of course I have my heat mat and some lights. I haven't used my lights yet, but I am using the heat mat. So I guess let's just get going. So I'm going to take my list here and I'm going to get into my seed box. I got a couple worms. Y'all know how I love my worms. But I'm going to get into my seed box and see if I have any of these seeds on hand to plant. And I already have carrots growing out there, so I'm not going to grow carrots, but I am going to try and see if I have eggplant, which I don't think I do. I have lots of peppers, and I think I have beets. Radishes are just something that I would plant in the ground. So those can probably just go right in the ground. I have lots of peppers, but I don't know which ones I want to start growing first. So I think those look fun. Those look fun. I'm only going to try 3 varieties of peppers right now, I think. And they had tomatoes on there too, like aroma tomato. I don't know if I have aroma tomato. I do have so I'm going to try aroma. I want a cherry tomato. Gosh, I'm surprised I didn't order any cherry tomatoes. Maybe that's what I need to order. Alright, so the things I am going to attempt to sow today are ahi charchuga peppers, pumpkin spice jalapenos, the death spiral pepper, a couple different varieties of basil, some echinacea, and a variety of Roma tomatoes. So, and I'm just using my dirty pots from last year. I know it's not recommended, but well, here I am. And I moistened my soil because I want it to pack in really nice. And I want to pick out anything that's large pieces of debris so that the baby plants have their best chance at pushing through the surface. And I think with this experiment I'm going to use, I have this 12 cell tray here. And I'm going to mix the seeds just because I don't want to waste too many of them this early. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be this mix of basil. Basil is one of those things that if you don't pay attention to and it starts going to seed, it will absolutely just take over an area. So I can't even see the seeds, they're so darn tiny. And then I am going to mark these just so I know. I always like to have an herb garden growing right next to my house by my back door so that I can step outside and grab it whenever I need fresh herbs. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of dirt, soil, and just kind of lightly cover these. Okay, one down. Next, I think I'm just gonna do the tomato and the echinacea together. And I'm putting about 2 seeds per cell. Doing this, it's actually helping me realize what I do need to order. Like, I want to order different tomato seeds. I thought I ordered Romas. I'm gonna have to take a peek again in my seeds that I just bought, because I thought I ordered some more Roma tomatoes. And for these peppers, since I only have 3 varieties that I'm going to plant, I'm actually going to just do them long ways like this and plant these 3 in the same one. I'm not very confident that I will get these peppers to germinate so early, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. All right, now that that is done, I'm going to quickly water these really quick, and then we're gonna head out to the orchard area and we're gonna do a ton of work out there. I had originally wanted to plant my plum tree up in that spot right there. Right there was a huge ceanothus, aka California lilac, and they are pretty prominent in this area. They are beautiful, they smell good, they only bloom once a year, and that is from about March to April. But they can get real scraggly and gangly looking, and they're pokey, thorny. So we got rid of the tree, or the bush rather, that was here, and it was quite a bush. As you can see from this footage, that it took a lot of work to get that thing out. So my original plan, like I said, was to put my plum tree there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this area for citrus. And I'm going to plant my plum elsewhere. But the root ball that came out of that hole, massive. Like I said, tons and tons of work. So, and then we're going to get rid of a couple of these other trees in here and have a nice little citrus area. Bud. Come in. As you just saw, we got the stump out of there. It was tough work. Between using an axe, a sawzall, hammer, prying it, all the things, just trying to get all those roots that were underneath taken care of, but it's finally out. So that's awesome. Now, if you watched my other video, I planted my peach trees there, and there's my plum. I am going to get rid of this tree here, and probably, that's not even a tree. They're like, those things shoot underground and then produce all kinds of offshoots. I'm gonna get rid of that, probably get rid of the scrub oak thing behind it, rid of a couple more of these, probably all these lower ones here. And then in this area is where I'm gonna plant the plum tree. And then to put it into perspective, so this is where my peaches are, and then that area right there is where my oranges are gonna go. All right, that was easy enough to do. So now I'm just gonna get rid of this one here and that other bush. All right, so I got it planted, and then I do need to come back through here at some point and just clean up this. That trailer needs to go, but clean up the rest of these because the sun does set that way and the afternoon sun would be good. And then I need to get rid of all this stuff. I know that this video has been all over the place. I don't even know what it's gonna end up looking like, but that's it. There's lots of stuff going on, lots of projects and things to do around here. And now is the time to complete those things. So that's what I'm doing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Go plant a garden, and I'll see you next time.